Good afternoon, my name is Joel. I am a student at Liberty University, and today I'm going to be going over the four forces of flight. Alright, so these are the four forces of flight: lift, weight, thrust, and drag. Alright, so we're going to talk about lift first. Lift is associated with Bernoulli's principle. Basically, he found that when you took flowing water and you reduced what it was flowing into, so basically you went from a larger pipe to a smaller pipe and then back to a larger pipe, you found that in that smaller pipe the flow of water would actually speed up, but then the pressure would decrease, which seems kind of counterintuitive. When I first thought about it, I figured that if you went from larger to smaller, that the pressure would increase, but that's not the case. And basically those pipes, or the shape of the pipes, if you cut it in half and took one away, that's how you're gonna get the shape of a wing of an aircraft. And the same thing applies, because air is a liquid, there's water vapor. The air is going to flow over and under the wing, and when it flows over, it speeds up. When it speeds up, it reduces pressure. And so that lower pressure basically allows the higher pressure underneath the wing to kind of chase it. And when it starts wanting to get to that lower pressure, it creates lift and gives us the ability to lift off the ground. All right, the next is weight. So weight is the gravitational, or is gravitational force. It's also kind of what we know as G's. It is basically the amount that gravity is pulling on the airplane and its occupants or whatever's inside. And the more you weigh, the more G's essentially you have, and then making different turns, you're increasing your load factor and you're increasing the amount of G's placed on the plane and your body. Next is thrust. Thrust is what's pulling or pushing the aircraft. Bigger aircraft typically have thrusters behind it that are pushing, and then for like utility or smaller aircraft like what we fly, we have a propeller in front that is pulling the aircraft and creating the thrust. To increase thrust, all you have to do is increase power. This power basically allows the propeller to spin faster and starts outweighing the amount of drag, which is what we're going to get into next, that is placed on the airplane. And so that's going to allow you to speed up so that you can either climb, turn, or just go faster in general. All right, drag. A little bit more on here. Basically, there's two types. There's parasite drag, and then there's induced drag. Parasite drag has three different types: form, interference, and skin friction. Form drag, the best example I can give is like a big boxy truck or like a school bus versus a sleek sports car like a Ferrari or like a Corvette. That big boxy frame is gonna have more interruption of airflow. It's not gonna allow the air to flow as smoothly over it as a smaller, more sleek design car would. And it's the same idea for an aircraft. Basically, the more sleek it is, the easier the air can go over it, the less drag it's going to have in terms of form drag. Interference drag is another type of parasitic drag, and a good example of that is basically where parts of an aircraft come together. So when you attach a wing to a fuselage, that interruption that it causes, that 90-degree angle, is going to interrupt the smooth flow of air again and cause more drag. That's interference drag. And then skin friction drag. So when an airplane is designed, the manufacturer is trying to make the skin as smooth as possible, because the smoother the skin, basically the easier the air can flow over it. So with that, they also have to use rivets and stuff like that to keep everything together. Those rivets do cause drag, and that's known as skin friction drag. So the second type, induced drag, basically is a byproduct of lift. So when an airplane produces lift, that high to low pressure difference is causing drag on the airplane. It kind of forces its way out to the wing tips and creates wingtip vortices, and that causes more drag on the plane. And then, okay, forces in equilibrium. Basically, to say a plane's in equilibrium, you have to have your thrust equal to your drag and your lift equal to your weight. Basically, when that happens, the plane is set to be in level and unaccelerated flight, and everything is the same. They're all working together to keep the plane in the same altitude, the same heading, and not going anywhere else. And here are my references. Thank you.